put Victim 1 on the phone with Henley, who invited Victim 1 to Henley's home. According to Victim 1, when Victim 1 arrived at Henley's Arlington premises, Robinson, Williams, and other robbers were there, as were the proceeds of the robbery. Inside, Henley told Victim 1, "That's how you rob yourself." Henley then demanded $10,000 from Victim 1 to ensure other robberies did not occur. Henley also directed Victim 1 to identify other businesses or dispensaries that could be similarly robbed and assured Victim 1 that the Big U enterprise would compensate him for identifying any robberies. Henley then provided a portion of the robbery proceeds back to Victim 1. Williams later admitted to this robbery and aftermath on a podcast. On the No Jumper podcast, after stating that Williams was Henley's right-hand man, Williams explained, "So basically, he'll manipulate things. We'll go and do something, and then the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later as we trying to count everything. And we be like, how the F?" Williams then said that Henley would state, "Well, we're just going to give like 40,000 back." Whack 100, who was a rival counterpart of Henley's for the Bloods, was also on the podcast.
So basically, it's like, cause he'll be like, he'll manipulate things. Like, we'll go and do something, and the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, counting everything, right? And we be like, "Oh, well, we're going to just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that." But cuz it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real policing, the nigga get like 20 guns. And when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like, I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm his right hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like one day,
you know why he wanted to get a dude back to 40, right? Because he was gonna make dude give him 20 for getting it back.
Of course.
And kept you out of it.
Of course.
Truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. I know why you did it.
That clip that I showed y'all right there, that V for Vendetta clip, is the perfect clip. And I'm going to reveal why in a moment. If you want the full indictment, I'll pin it in the comments for you to listen to. It's definitely worth the read. But let's get into it. I only want to highlight a couple of things, all right? Because this is not a rolling 60s Rico. This is a Big U Rico. And they highlighted to make the difference right here. I want to show y'all real quick. Right here. Okay. It says CW1 also said Henley led a money-making gang that was distinct from the rolling 60s. So understand, when you say it's distinct, that means there's a difference. That makes the whole rolling 60 part, null and void. Now, check this out. CW1 has a criminal history that includes convictions for possession for sales of narcotics in 2003 and 2009 in violation of California Health and Safety Code sections. So whomever that person is, understand, that's a dirty individual. So it says in violation of whatever, respectively, as well as shooting into an inhabited dwelling in 2003, in violation of California Penal Code section, CW received cooperation credit from a Central District of California at sentencing and prior drug conspiracy case alleging a violation of Title 21 United States Code section 846. However, former President Biden commuted CW1 sentence for that offense. So as you can see, even in parts of this, it says CW1 believed the fees that Henley collected were extortion, which means that he has to prove that. There's no saying or no telling if these cats reached out. But there you go. As we go further into this, I want you guys to understand something. The beginning of the video and why I said it, you're going to understand furthermore. So we're going to scroll through right here. Stop right here. Henry indicated that Developing Options was a platform he used to help individuals to get to college instead of going to jail. Many other publicly available recordings online show Henley describing the structure of Developing Options, how it is funded, and what it claims to do for the community. Since approximately 2015, Development Options have been the recipient of an annual $550,000 as part of the GRID program overseen by the City of Los Angeles from July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2023. Development Options was allotted $2,352,000 from the City of Los Angeles. From that, Henley has drawn hundreds of thousands of dollars purportedly in salary. So with all the stuff that's going on, I want to really get into the crux of it all, right? We're not going to go into the investigation of the kid who allegedly was killed by Big U. It definitely looks really, really bad. I ain't gonna lie. When I spoke yesterday, I had not read the full entire document, all right? So if we could go through it real quick. On January 24, 2021, the night of the murder, at approximately 7:04 p.m., Henley arrived at the studio, according to witnesses, at approximately 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. RW arrived at the studio and recorded a song from approximately 11 p.m. until midnight. On January 25, 2021, at approximately 12:37 a.m., Henley left the studio in a dark gray Lexus in which he and Robinson had driven to the studio, was no longer at the studio. At approximately 12:58 a.m., Henley's phones stopped reporting location data of any kind, with the last data recorded within the vicinity of the studio. At approximately 1:13 a.m., surveillance footage at the Airbnb again revealed a dark gray or silver sedan arriving to the Airbnb. RW exited the passenger side of the vehicle and entered the Airbnb. A few minutes later, at approximately 1:20 a.m., RW exited the Airbnb with a suitcase, put the suitcase in the trunk, and got in a dark gray silver sedan, which departed. The Airbnb, though, was rented for another day, and RW was not set to leave until a flight scheduled the following day. Both of Henley's phones did not begin reporting location data again until approximately 2:15 a.m. Based on investigative test drives and research, the drive from the studio to the Airbnb would take roughly 17 minutes. After Henley's phone stopped reporting location data when they left the vicinity of the studio, the dark sedan arrived with RW at the Airbnb 15 minutes later, which is consistent with traffic patterns after midnight. The drive from the Airbnb to the location where RW's body was found, and then the location to where Henley's phones began reporting again, would take roughly 42 minutes. The time from when RW left the Airbnb to when Henley's phones began reporting again is 48 minutes, approximate time for the drive, murder, and moving the body, particularly in the middle of the night without traffic. One of Henley's phones then made a call to Robinson, who witness one reported was still at the studio, which is corroborated in Robinson's phone location data. According to witness one, Robinson asked witness one if he had seen Henley, which witness one found odd since Robinson was Henley's driver and bodyguard. At approximately 2:30 a.m. or 3 a.m., Henley returned to the studio along in a dark gray Lexus and spoke to witness one, who reported that Henley appeared to be drenched in either sweat or water. Because, understand, Las Vegas is in the middle of a desert. Henley told witness one that he was coming back from the gym, which is kind of weird that he would even, ask like, bro, why are you sweating? RW's body was found hours later at approximately 9 a.m. when one of the NLVPD detectives investigating the murder believed RW died at that location near the side of the road on I-15 after he observed the roadway contained with distinct patch of blood, which trailed down from the hill, from the roadway, into the desert, along with the drag marks. Henley's phone location data shows that he departed Las Vegas to return to Los Angeles at approximately 10 a.m. Evidence from the scene. Officers and medical professionals responded to the scene of RW's murder, and subsequent autopsy found that RW died from multiple gunshot wounds. The responders noted that RW was not dressed for the weather, which was cold and inclement on the night of the murder. DNA was collected from RW's ankle sock area. And when I say that, the desert, if y'all haven't been to Las Vegas, right, when the night falls and you go into that desert, bruh, depending on the night, it is cold as hell or it was hot as hell. So in December, out there, yeah, DNA was collected from RW's ankle/sock area, consistent with the direction that RW was dragged into the desert of the highway. The DNA profile obtained was not complete, likely due to the aforementioned inclement weather on the night of the murder. Analysis of Henley's DNA profile was inconclusive, such that he could not be excluded as the contributor of the DNA. Robinson, on the other hand, was excluded as a potential contributor of the DNA found on RW. So there's that, but here's where it gets crazy, scary, spooky. Henley arranges for recording equipment from studio to be removed and surveillance video to be destroyed. I'm not going to get into all of that. That right there, as far as how they set it up, is insane. Because even this little conversation right here, it say, Henley, where you at? DS, at the house, ready to jump in the shower? What you on? Henley, I need to pull up on you. DS, all right. I'm right here at the house. Henley, all right. I got to pull up on you in DS. How long you going to be? Henley, you ain't about to go nowhere, are you? DS, nah, I'm Henley. Okay. DS, I'll jump in the water, though. Just be ready, though. Henley, okay. DS, all right, for sure. And then you have a conversation between Big U and his wife. But I want to get down to the part right here where I don't want to say he basically is screwed, but it's going to be hard to basically beat this right here. And I'm only going to skim through it because there's a lie that's being told through through the internet about people checking in and being extorted and all this crap. Now, if you want to believe that, and I can't convince you any otherwise, don't matter about this part. Like, really don't care. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm not here to protect anybody. I ain't involved in none of this stuff. So I ain't dodging no Rico and all this crap. Once again, this is not a rolling 60s indictment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through all of this stuff real quick. And I'll make it quick. Henley, we're just going to say from Henley, we're just going to say Big U, all right? And I'm not going to go through exactly what happened, but basically I'm going to tell you how it all pans out. A person makes a donation to Options for Youth and to their bank account, and Big U takes that money and it transfers it to his own bank account. So, yeah, and I'll get into it further as to what actually it seems like happened in my opinion, and I think that's the best thing going on. So Henley embezzles $20,000 from a donation, all right? So, mind you, these are donations. These are not payments to Big U directly because they could have made the payments to Big U directly. We got to understand that part, all right? If it was on some type of extortion stuff and all that and everything like that, if Big U was smart with no disrespect in how I say this, bro, all you should have had to do was literally just increase your salary. That would have been the way to do it. The real CEOs of all these companies that really steal from their companies do this all the time. So Big U embezzles $20,000 from a donation from a current NBA All-Star to Developing Options. That's Draymond Green. Henley embezzles $14,000 from a donation from Donor 2, Developing Options. All right? So we already got him on 2 counts. Henley embezzles $15,000 from a donation. So that right there is another one. Y'all see the pattern that's happening? Then we go on down. Henley embezzles $10,000 from a donation from Donor 4 to Developing Options. Crazy times, ain't it? Then we go even further. $19,000 from a donor for Developing Options. Hold on, right here. Henley embezzles $36,400 from a donation from a donor again for Developing Options. That's already 6 counts of the stuff. 7 right here. Henley embezzles $32,500 from Developing Options, which basically boils to almost $150,000. If y'all was wondering why I was slowing it down, because I was writing it in the calculator as well. And we're going to stop right there because I got a lot more to say. Let's clear a couple of rumors, all right? Let's clear a couple of rumors. There's certain things I can't say because it popped up in the paperwork, but it's not anything that they're saying as far as alleging. CW1 is not Charleston White. It basically said that Charleston White would have had to have used Joe Biden pardon from being in California prison. Not even Biden's pardon, but a law that he had changed. So no, that ain't accurate at all. Number 2, Christopher Lovejoy is not in that paperwork anywhere. So there's that. And if you hear the stories to discredit Christopher Lovejoy, none of the stuff that they say that they use to discredit him is even used within this indictment. So I want y'all to understand that. Number 3, WAC 100's name is only brought up because of what Big U said. Now, mind you, I owe zero allegiance to any of these cats. I don't talk to them. I don't do any business with them or nothing like that. But one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to get on here and lie. That's not my MO. If they were on here and there was something that was weird on their names, I definitely would do it. But that's not the case. At the end of the day, this is going to go down as one of the saddest things to happen. Is there a superseding indictment that can basically pop up way later on to go years on down the line and all this crap and everything like that? It could. But it seems as though how they're writing it, Big U was not content with what he was getting and doing. It talked about his reputation and him bragging about his reputation throughout the 80s and all of this stuff and everything like that. To be fair to everybody here, this is a big U indictment, not a Rolling 60s indictment, a big U indictment. I'm not going to go through names and all this crap and everything like that. But as far as the Rolling 60s go, they're only accused of running in a dispensary. The people who are, because it's not like the whole entire Rolling 60s ran through there, bro. It's damn near 2,000 cats from just LA alone that's within the gang. So 2,000 people ain't run up in no building for sure, because the building wouldn't be there. That ain't how it go down. But there are cats that they claim, and we don't even know, that they claim are Rolling 60 members and basically hit a dispensary. That's it. Other than that, it basically said cats popped up to Deja Vu to spend bread and buy the bar, basically, and all that stuff and everything like that. That's the whole Rolling 60s involvement within that indictment. When it boils down to it, man, the reason why I say this is going to be a sad story is because at the end of the day, Big U is the ultimate person here. They're alleging that you stole from the kids, bro. That you might have tugged on heartstrings. And when I said I'll explain it in the previous video with the words, my theory on the NBA players and the NFL player and the business people was this. It is rare to see a black leader from gangs transition to helping out the streets so that there are options for the youth to become bigger and better and not become products of their environment. To see a person that is respected by all. Understand something. Big U had an air of respect from the older cats to the younger cats. We're talking teenagers, 20s, 30s, 40s. This is a very true thing. So when you're seeing this, it's sad because we're seeing community leaders put in positions allegedly and stealing from the exact community that they were there to help. Now, here could have been what happened. The dates in which the money was given and cleared, or some of them, it was like a month later that he took money and stuff. Big U 100% could have been paying out of his pocket. And oh, no, don't say that, bro. You don't know. You don't either. I'm not going to use in like the same federal government that has been used to take down other California organizations that were meant for good, ergo the Black Panthers. When the peace treaty had kicked off in the 90s and the police basically got rid of the peace treaty and had a car, started busting and shooting cats and everything like that. The police ruined the peace treaty in the 90s. This is documented. The FBI put guns in the hoods basically for free and flooded it with psychotropic drugs. So the same tools they give you are the same tools they use to take you down. Is Big U guilty? I have zero idea, man. I ain't been around Big U physically or nothing like that since 2014. So whatever he's doing now, bruh, understand something. That's a whole different person than the person from 10 years ago. Allegedly, according to this document. When you cats are throwing Nipsey Hussle name on in there, Nipsey Hussle is in the document only because of the reputation of Big U when they try to give Nipsey Hussle a DP in the paperwork, and Black Sam stepped in and was like, that's not going on. That's it. The murder of Nipsey Hussle did not involve Big U, because if it did, don't y'all see what's going on? He would be gone right now. They're trying to get him on embezzlement. The same stuff that they tried to get the original Scarface out of Chicago with. Name freaking Al Capone. There we go. I was just saying the name escapes me, but Al Capone. That's what he went down for. Big U is doing tax evasion according to the documents. And if all of y'all are talking about, bro, you're being very careful, very, very careful how you saying it. Isn't that always how it goes with me? In the beginning of YouTube, I would 100% go off with what everything is saying. But once we got to the YSL, Rico, and we started seeing how the officers didn't know anything, it seemed like they were just making it up. And a lot of these documents, if I'm Big U, I'm taking it to trial. He has no choice. But for anybody that's saying Big U is snitching, who is he going to tell on? This is the Big U indictment. So, with all due respect, and I don't care how they take it, when Lovejoy and Wack, well, I don't even call Cuz Lovejoy, when 600 and Wack is saying Big U's a snitch and all this stuff and everything like that, no, Big U is braggadocious. That's what that is. So calling Big U a snitch, it's not proven and it's not shown in the paperwork, unless you want to say snitched on itself. Then that part right there, I can't really fight you on. You got my hands tied right there. But I do not agree with the notion that Big U told on cats. I ain't seen no paperwork that all of this stuff that happened is true. It all has to be proven within courts. Now, they said they got 50 people giving statements and stuff like that against Big U. That right there is bad. But I ain't gonna lie. The worst thing Big U did was obstruct justice. And once again, like I said, and I'll play the video at the end, but man, there's certain things you're not supposed to say when you're getting yourself right and situated. There's certain things you're not supposed to do when you're getting yourself right and situated. And Big U definitely did not do anything. Like I said, I get 600's vendetta against Big U, because when you accuse somebody of being a snitch in the streets, especially in LA, that can get you killed. Especially if you in these streets, people will kill you about snitching. It happens all the time. But this right here, bruh, this video 1,000,000% will be used against Big U, and I don't know why the hell he did it. But subscribe, turn that bell, stay notified, and share to keep your people aware. This video right here is probably the dumbest shit I've seen when turning yourself in, bruh. I'm gone.
So this is gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna go turn myself in to see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. And he's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about Wack, Loose Cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all filed. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying, all y'all giving these likes and hidden likes, all y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this fuck shit. If you had something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They going around scaring and intimidating everybody. But y'all sending it around getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. This is my last video before I turn myself in. I'm with my family. Talk to my sons, I talk to everybody, man. I'm just saying, gonna deal with this fight, see what it is. I just want y'all to know, all this stuff is quagmire. Shit is all bullcrap. I just need y'all prayers. I need y'all to, I don't even know what to say. Now, 21 years, I've elevated my family, come back, sit in here and write and do what I need to do until I can come back home. People are supposed to help me, I hope you help me. If you can't, you don't worry about it. A lot of stuff y'all hearing is straight trash. And I appreciate the love and I appreciate the people who've been helping me. I don't know. It's hard helping black people and not being hunted for doing it.
This First Street, it might be to, I don't know if it's to the right or the left.
Reach out to anybody who can help me, y'all.